Hello, I'm Cal Wellborn, acarologist with the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, Division of Plant Industry in Gainesville, Florida. Here we have our mite at low power. We can see there's 4 pairs of legs. We're going to go to at least a higher power now. Okay, we're at 40x. And going back to couplet number 1, we want to look for lateral stigmata, 1 to 4 pairs of lateral stigmata, posterior to leg 2, versus stigmata around the gnathosoma. This is leg 2 here. This is leg 3. So we'll be looking in this area for stigmata paratremes. And there's nothing here. There's a couple CD, but nothing of note. Always check both sides just to make sure you're not missing something. Sometimes when a specimen is mounted, the specimen gets twisted and you may not see the structure. Leg coxa, leg 2, leg 3 is just right there. And if there was a lateral stigmata, it'd be right in this area. So we'll look for anterior stigmata between the chelicerae. Here's your gnathosome. A little hard to see the structures there, but there's no, this is the prodorsum right here. So as we focus down through here, there's nothing that looks like a paratreme or a stigmata. You can see your chelicerae bases here. There's nothing that looks like a paratreme or stigmata. Look at the cocci. Here is leg 2. This is the coxal field of leg 2. And there does not appear to be a movable segment. We have a sclerotized structure part here, but that's part of the apodeme. And if we look here at leg 3, this is the cox of leg 3. You can see it's part of the idiosoma. It's not a movable segment. So we'll look for prodorsal trichobothria now. Here's the prodorsum. There is sort of a sclerite here. It's a little hard to see. But there's a sclerite here. These are your anterior prodorsal CD, so these would be the VIs. We move back. Here we have your other prodorsal CD. These long ones are 1 pair. Little tiny ones here, right about there. There's 1 there, and there's 1 right over here. These are your other pair of prodorsal CD. This one has 3 pairs of prodorsal CD. Sometimes you'll get a 3rd or 4th pair. This is your VIs. Sometimes you'll get a 4th pair along the edge here. That may be what's left of the CETA. And none of these look like bothridial bases. These are all just normal CD. So there's no trichobothria. So there's no lateral stigmata. The cocci are not free. There's no trichobothria. 4 pairs of legs. So we'll move on to the acariformes. Move down to couplet 3. Chelicerae rarely chelate or usually chelate. As you can see, they're very obviously chelate. very much like the orbatid we just looked at. Here's your glycerol base. So here's your fixed digit, movable digit, your glycerol base. So the glycerol are definitely chelate. Palps, we'll look at palps now. Palps are right here. They're very reduced. They're linear, but they're reduced. This would be your terminal segment of the palp right there. Here's the other palp. There's the terminal segment. There's another segment. So the palps are reduced. They're linear, but they are reduced. Stigmata, we did not find any stigmatal openings. It has chelate glycery, linear palps, and rutella, in this case, would be present or absent. I don't see a rutella here. So going by this, we have chelate glycery, linear palps, stigmata and paratremes absent. We'll go with Sarcoptiformes. Go to number 4. Palps with 2 segments. 2 segments versus 4 or 5 segments. There's 1 segment. There's the other segment. So it's 2-segmented palp. Prodorsal trichobothria absent. We did not find any trichobothria. There were 3 pairs of prodorsal setae, maybe 4. You have your VIs. This may be a setal base, but the seta is basically gone. And then we had 2 other pairs of prodorsal setae, 1 pair of long ones and 1 pair of very tiny ones. And none of those are trichobothria. Okay, now we want to look at the impodial claw of the pretarsus. Pretarsus with an impodial claw and fleshy pulvillus, or pretarsus sucker-like. True claw is absent versus pretarsal impodium, usually claw-like or absent. And by fleshy pulvillus, we do have a claw-like impodium here. Let's see it. But the fleshy pulvillus is this structure around here that's almost semi-transparent. Let's look at another leg, see if we get a better view. That's pretty good. Okay, this is leg 3, tarsus leg 3. You see the fleshy pulvillus around here. Leg 4. Here's leg 4. Again, the fleshy pulvillus. And it says rutella absent. Most species not sclerotized. This is basically a soft-bodied mite. Just to point out a couple other structures, these big spine-like structures here are actually just modified setae. Here's your solenidia on the tarsus of leg 1. These are your chemoreceptors. And then we have normal setae coming off here. So this is an astigmata. This particular thing is a common pest of bulbs. If you look at bulbs or inspect bulbs, you're going to find rhizoglyphus. It's not the only thing you'll find, but this is quite common in a pest of bulbs that are shipped and stored.